Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And with the new Festive Memories team means a new beatdown battle. So today we're going to go into EX2. This will probably be video one of at least three, because thankfully, this EX2 stage is not that difficult unless you want to stay in there for like 10 turns and then things can get a little rough. But it doesn't have the most going for it, right? So this trainee, 654k HP, which is a decent amount, but we're now in like the EX Unbound territory. We can get a lot of damage in like 2 turns if you really want to force it. So this is not overly scary unless you're a brand new player. She gives herself an ult. She's got stun evasion, so you're not really meant to stun her, at least in the beginning of the fight. She does seal your front line, though, immediately turn 1. So whoever's up front is going to have their attack skills sealed. So your attack skills, preferably, are going to be in the back to avoid the seal. But if you're running a team full of attack skills, someone's going to get that seal put on them. And then around turn 3, she gives herself Pierce and Pierce Power and lowers your defense. This is where she begins to get a little scary, even on EX2, because she could decide to really hate someone and 4 or 5 shot them and they just evaporate. So sometimes you can get pretty unlucky, which is why it's better to burst the stage down than to stay here and let her target someone over and over and over again. If you have a healer, probably maybe a good time to bring that. And then she's got instant damage as well, which is unfortunate because it's just another hit that you're taking. So I think on turn 5, she could ult you, instant damage you, and then hit you with like 4 attacks. And if she all puts it on one character, that person's dead. So, unfortunate. But because she's Earth, we have more than a few fire characters. And there's more than a few teams that can get this done. So again, this is going to be part 1 of 3. If this video doesn't work out for you, stay tuned for the next 2. Maybe those can help you out with beating it. They're going to be full meta teams, but they're going to get progressively older or something. So stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and jump in. All right, first team is going to be the new meta. So we've got Albis, we've got Tempest Elite Benimaru, the new Ritus, the free-to-play Tempest Elite Gobta because he's a green orb changer with gauge increase on his orb change, unlike Ritus. And then he's also got a single ult swap to blue, which helps. If you don't have him, just bring a different green orb changer, like free-to-play Water Rimuru or something. That'll work. And then we've got Momiji and then Idle Shuna. So this team, built for fire, is on the Festive Memories team, except for Benimaru and Gobta. Not a big deal. And also because we're getting that extra damage increase versus Earth characters, you don't need to sit here for all 8 turns. Like, you don't need EX ults to do this. So turn 1, we're going to use Gobta's orb change, because it's got the gauge increase. Ritus does weakness resistance down, which I guess is cool, but it'll prevent us from getting a double stack of Albis turn 2, and that's not what we're looking for. So 7,000, 11,000 because she's fire in Festive Memories. Momiji is earth in Festive Memories. Ritus is water, and she's free to play. So this ult doesn't really hurt that much. But as you saw, Ritus has an attack seal. So does Gobta, so does Benimaru. But Momiji's skill and Idle Shuna's skill are much more important than that. So we'll bring Benimaru up front, because after 5 turns the seal will be gone. And she doesn't reapply it, at least I'm aware of. But we're not going to be able to use that. But our primary Nuken character is Idle Shuna, who is not even physical to begin with, so it's not really going to affect her that much anyways. And you see, like, after 2 6 Sons of Orbs, her health bar is very quickly going away. 27,000 right there, with almost nothing to do. Albis is buffing our ult damage, so it's not like we're passively getting stronger and stronger on our normal orbs, it's just when you ult. So we'll bring Ritus in, and we'll apply, I think, a shield to someone. Or we'll use her orb change. Okay, there's a shield. And then we'll bring Gobta in, because he's been reset now, back down to his base cost. And then we'll do his orb change. So having multiple orb changers is very good for this team. We'll reapply a new barrier on everyone. So Gobta and Benimaru now have 1. And then we'll send these. Only 1 orb for Shuna, but that's enough to get her ult. That is important. So turn 4, another 27k. Alright, so Pierce Power up now on turn 3, so destroy the barrier, destroyed that barrier, then hit him for 3,500, 3,500. Like, if she had sent all that against Gopt or someone, he would have taken over 10,000 damage right there. If all of them had hit after his barrier broke, like, that's not great. Thankfully, she spread the damage out. So if you're looking for an optimized run, she can't really be targeting the same person over and over and over and over again. But let's go ahead and bring in Momiji to orb change. And let's see. I think we strategically used the alt swap from Shuna to give us another green orb, and then we used Ritus. I think that's what we did. We could have used Gopta's alt swap to blue. That would have worked as well. It actually would have lowered Pierce resistance on Trainee, which this is a Pierce team, technically. So, would have been fine. Oh well. But we're getting turn 5, and we're ready to nuke. Like, we don't need every single buff active for this team. We just need to get a few alts. So instant damage, there's the hit, there's some more hits, there's some more hits. So this, turn 5, is like the potentially scary turn. Because that's where, again, she can ult instant damage and then 4-tap you, and someone could die. So we're just going to send this, 222, and then Shuna does 871. And that's not even like a fully maxed out debuff from Momiji. That was like 120% ult resistance down. And then the synergy power buff, like, that was not very strong, plus whatever stacks of Albis we had. So you definitely don't need to be here for 8 turns in a row. You can get the job done much quicker than that. Alright, next team. So if you don't have Idle Shuna and the new Momiji, but maybe you have some old fire characters like Velzard and Christmas Shizu, who are also on Festive Memories, this can still work, and it works fairly well, actually, because even though Velzard is not skill fused, so she's not giving herself that insane level of power buff, she's still halfway decent, even though she's 2 years old at this point. 2 years old. So Albis will be giving them the extra damage buff as well, because they're Festive Memories, they're fire, they're physical, so they're getting the extra stats now. And now we've brought a few different orb changers. We brought Water Rimuru and the free-to-play Light Soka to special convert. So now we'll use Water Rimuru's convert, because it's, again, got the gauge increase on it, which is just better, at least for turn 1, than Ritus. And then we'll bring in our 2 fire characters. And then Velzard has the ability to orb steal 2 orbs to herself. So maybe we take advantage of that in one of these turns coming up. But we're already doing 15k a hit to her. 33 with that, because they're fire physical. And we have 3 orbs for Velzard here. We could orb steal. We could not. Like, there's a number of things we could do right here, because we could use Soka and then Ritus to change. Like, we have options, thankfully. And having options is good. But we're going to take Velzard out and hopefully get like 4 orbs for somebody next turn, or some kind of semblance of that, and then steal into a 6th Velzard hand. I don't actually think it works, but hey, one can dream, right? So let's get some alt stacks and then some barriers. And then this team, it has the fire buff from Shizu and then the AoE debuff. That is also not skill fused. Her fire buff is, because it's quite old. But like the recent skill fusions, all I've done is the Idle Shuna one. So Christmas Shizu and Christmas Velzard are not fully skill fused yet. They probably will be by the end of the month, but not now. I don't think it's necessary. But we have 3 orbs for Shizu. Not great, but we can still work with it, because these are not EX characters. We don't need 2 full EX or alt gauges for this, so we'll just steal these and we'll call it a day. So boom, boom, boom. We'll full convert. Boom, boom, steal, and well, not full convert, but we'll give ourselves 5 Velzard orbs, and then we'll send this. We'll get her alt. And then we're ready to nuke next turn, because we got 150 points, and we only need, like, 80, or something like that. So, oh, debuff. Oh, no. Destroy the barrier on Soka. Destroy the barrier on Ritus. Well, let's take some revenge. Let's bring in Fire Shizu now. Eventually. Yeah, I think I'm debating on if I want to nuke here or not, and the answer is yes. So we'll bring you in, and then we'll use all 3 buffs. So 1, 2, and 3. I mean, I guess we could have used the other buff as well, like the Ritus, but we're not actually getting Pierce on this team, because Momiji's not here. So the Pierce power from Shizu means nothing. The Pierce resistance down doesn't mean anything. But Velzard by herself, 334. And then the follow-up orbs, 29k. Easy. These are old characters, minus, Albis and Ritus. But old 5 stars, not EX characters, still very much able to get the job done quite easily. Alright, another team that is featuring Albis, but now we've changed up the 2 support units, so now it's Fire Violet, so she's not even on Festive Memories anymore, it's just Violet. And then the new Divine General Diablo. So we're going to try to add a little bit extra burn to this fight, and give Violet all 3 primary buffs, Synergy, Crit, and Pierce, because she gives Crit and Pierce to herself on 1 skill. Diablo will give the massive Synergy buff, and this should work just fine, if not maybe better than the previous team with Velzard and Shizu, because Violet is a single target ult, which means that she's going to be inherently stronger when she's nuking, and we have a really powerful Diablo buff, which is unrestricted, this is why he's so good. So the front 3 units have not changed, they're still the free-to-play units, and then we'll bring Violet in, and we'll bring Diablo in, and we'll go ahead and send this. Having Diablo also gives us the opportunity to use multiple skills in a turn, if we need to. Like, if we need to use some different kind of orb change twice in a row, like, we can do that now, after we get some points with Albis. So we'll take that AoE, alright, fine. Traits kick in, we have a double Albis now, and we have a pretty good hand that we can convert here. So, let's bring in Soka. Oh no, okay, we're going to bring Diablo in, fine. We'll use his self-convert to hit that 1 orange, and then we'll bring Soka in to do the special convert. And then we'll use Albis twice to give us a double barrier stack. And then we just need to get Violet a normal ult, which hopefully should not be that difficult to do. But we'll have to see what the Orb RNG wants to give us. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So last turn we were doing like 15k a hit, 20k a hit, and Violet is not doing quite that much. But we haven't used any of her buffs yet. So now we have 3 orbs for her, which is good. And now we're looking ready to go at this point. So we just need to do a few things. So orb change, boom. The orange, we could use Soka again, or we could do someone else, like it really doesn't matter. And then we'll bring Diablo in, and then we will use his green buff, and we'll do both of Violet's skills, and then because we've used the multi-skill, we'll do another stack of Violet on top of this. So it'll be 30%? No, it'll be 40%. 40% burn right now. Yeah, because it's 20. And that gets her an ult. And now we have 150 points. We can use the Diablo synergy buff. We already have the crit pierce going now. The burn kicks in and does 32k. And now we've got a single target fire ult that's going to have all 3 primary damage buffs, plus the ult buffs that we're getting from Albis, and another stack of burn just for funsy onesies. And now she's going to die. So we're going to get another 60% here. And this is pretty free and easy, honestly. So I think most people who are, halfway adjusted to this game probably shouldn't have a lot of issues in this fight. Probably being the keyword. 485k there. Like that's almost as much health as she has normally at full HP. So very much easily doable right there. Alright, so now we're just going to erase the Festive Memories team from our memories, and we're just going to use Fire 2.0. The Christmas meta 2 years ago, with only Christmas Shizu, we've got Violet again. Toa is an orb changer for oranges, but oranges are not nerfed in the stage, which is great. It's only green orbs that are nerfed. So you can bring any orange team, and we're going to use a few orange teams in the other videos as well. But this, I would say, is actually almost more free and easy than the other teams, because it is just purely built to get Violet and buff Violet to hell. So we'll bring you in, and we'll bring Shizu in, and now we've got 4 units that are fire. We're looking good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Even though without any EX damage buff from the Protector, it does not matter. What does matter is these 5 orbs for Hero, because that doesn't really help us that much. We're just going to send them. We just want Violet orbs, so we'll just get those out. And we have now a double stack of Toa and 2 orbs for Violet, but it's actually 5 because of what we're going to do here. So we'll use the buffs, so 1, 2, and 3. Now we get the Pierce Power from Shizu. We'll use Toa, give us 40 skill points, change the whole hand to oranges. And then we'll use the Burn and the Orb giveaway. And now we have 5 Violet orbs that are all oranges, which means she's going to get an EX ult, even though she's not an EX character yet, right? Until, December 20th. So now we have maximum points, pretty much, and we have all the buffs ready to go. So this is turn 4 coming up. Guy got 4 shot right there. And now we'll use Toa, give ourselves 40 more skill points, and that will allow us to use both buffs from Shizu and Guy, and then another stack of burn from Violet, because why not? And then we'll send this entire hand, 264, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4. And she's dead. So, I mean, this is a 2-year-old team that can do it free and easy. So, again, probably not too much trouble for a lot of people, but, you know, maybe you don't have the fire team, so maybe you have to use this, or you have to use something else that's a bit more recent. And by recent, I mean the Divine General team, with some major substitutions. So assuming that you didn't pull for Blanc, and you didn't pull for the hero, and you just have Raphael, Diablo, and Almizia, like, you can still get it done. It's a bit rough because your primary nuking character is Raphael, who has type disadvantage, and our orb change scenario we've made better, because now we've brought Yom to change blues, and then Dark Milim, who can change a special convert to greens, and then Gazel. So we're going to make this a little better. Also, greens are nerfed, though, by 80%. So this is not the best team, but it still can get the job done with a little bit of luck. And this is not like a perfect run by any means, so you could get a better run than this, and it could be easier for you. But you know, as an example, this is the most recent team. This is the team that a lot of people summon for, so I do need to attempt to use it, and it does technically work. But we're going to send 4 blues here, because we can't orb change at all into this, and that'll get us a full stack of Almizia for turn 2, which is good. Maybe you don't have the big 3 and you have to do a little bit, or you bring a different orb changing unit for turn 1 to get a double stack of Almizia or something, or very close to. You know, whatever you got to do to make it work. But we'll use the green buff from Diablo, and then we'll bring Yom in to change those 2, and then we'll use Milim, because she's skill fused. She can change any 2 orbs to green. If she's not, then you'd have to play around a little bit. But full hand of greens right here, Almizia to reset, and then we can use another stack of Rimuru for the extra ult and synergy power, and then we'll send this. We're going to send Raphael first, though, because he's type disadvantage, so he does not do a lot. Milim does more. And yeah, we're just looking for an ult. Preferably an EX ult with Raphael, but you know, with green orbs being nerfed, I don't know if that's realistic for you unless you're going to sit here for a while. Also, we're not going to get Almizia every single turn, which does kind of suck. So here, we're just going to take Raphael out. Like, there's no point leaving it up there. We don't have an alt swapper on this team. It's kind of rough. But we do have a lot of orb changing potential now, which does help this team run a bit better. So we will use the single orb change, boom. We will use Milim to convert those. Milim is giving us permanent skill point increase as well, just not add nearly as much as what Gazel is doing for Divine Generals, but it is better than nothing. So you can see that we're not getting that many points back right now, because we still have to get through that 80% debuff. So 87 points right here means that we don't have a lot to play with most of the time. And now we're on turn 4. Now we have 4 blues, which we could change with that, but we just don't have a lot to do right now. So there's an ult for Milim as well. Not great, so we'll bring Gazel in. That'll still pull in another blue orb, so now we have 4 blues. So we'll use Yom, boom, and then we'll reset everything with Almizia, use the Diablo green buff, and then we'll use Yom again. And probably a Gazel skill. Yeah, or 2 Gazels. No, yeah, 2 Gazel skills instead of 2 Yoms. But that'll help get us a bit more points. Now we get 130 back. And now we're going to go into turn 5 with an ult for Milim, an ult with Raphael, and an ult for Diablo, I believe. Yeah. So here, like, I think I'm going to nuke on this turn. I think most people should probably wait a little bit longer to try and get a little bit more power, but that's just me. So what are we working with? I'm just afraid that someone's going to die faster than anything. So maybe like you bring a heal charm, or you bring like Wind Lumi to heal you up, or Trainee or something. Wind Lumi probably better because she's got an orb change and the heal, instead of maybe Yom or something. But we're going to synergy buff. We're going to alt buff with Milim because that's all the points we have. We'll do another stack of attack for Almizia. Milim's skill fusion will give Diablo a bit more attack as well. And then one more final stack with Raphael. More synergy, more alt. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Diablo 79, Raphael 200, and then Milim can finish up with 217. So technically you can make it work. You might have to make a few substitutions from this team because maybe you don't have everything going on, but the bones of the team are still Elmezia, Gazel, Raphael, Diablo. Just who are going to be your other orb changers to make this run a lot better than what it normally would is going to be up to you and your box and what you have available. But that's going to do it for part 1 of the EX2 beatdown battle. If these teams don't work for you, stay tuned because I've got like 10 more teams to show between 2 more videos that are going to be other full meta teams or hodgepodges of. So, maybe you've got some of those active, maybe not. But let me know what other teams you use to clear this that you may have used that are not these teams. That way other people can see that in the comments below and maybe use that instead. But that's it from me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.